Hello, Diltao fans. That's a terrible intro. How do we start this video?
Y'all should let me do the intro.
Okay, you do the intro.
You
You do the intro.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. Now I need to think of an intro.
They'll be recording so far.
That'll be recording.
This is going great.
Yep. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hi. All right, so
Diltao here.
it's you did not just say Diltao here,
Alright,
dude.
sorry.
We haven't uploaded on YouTube in a while, but here we are. We're here making a tier list today. I have with me here is Tao and a special guest. We have Wisteria here. Say hello.
Hello.
In this video, the whole point of this video is we're going to be ranking on a tier list element and weapon combinations that don't exist in Genshin. Now, I bet you're wondering. What the heck? Why is Pyro Sword here? There's clearly a Pyro Sword user. It's Bennett. He's the most meta character in the game. Okay, so I needed to add more because there's only 3 weapon element combos that don't exist in the game. Cryo Catalyst, Dendro Claymore, and Hydro Claymore. I decided that we're also going to be including weapon and element combinations that don't have a 5-star user.
That is so smart
That
of you.
should have a 5-star user.
That should totally, or
Exactly.
maybe they shouldn't. Maybe they shouldn't have a 5-star user.
Exactly.
Maybe
Maybe there's a reason there's
Maybe
not a
they
5-star.
shouldn't. Yeah, maybe there's a reason. They'll be in detail.
Honestly.
But anyway, yeah, we're gonna start off this video strong with Anemo Claymore. I'm gonna put it in B tier for now, just so we could like put it on the podium and then discuss it. So, what do you guys think of Anemo Claymore? What's your opinions?
I guess it just makes sense for them to not have, like, a giant sword, considering, it's the element of wind and whatnot.
Yeah, it's like a
The
light
lighter,
element.
Yeah, and Claymore is like a much heavier
Yeah.
weapon to pair it with.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And Sayu, for example, the only existing one, she doesn't really use Anemo with her Claymore. Like she kind of just
She doesn't really use her
rolls
Claymore.
around and then she just uses her Claymore like,
Heals.
on it by itself, you know.
Yeah, she uses her
She doesn't
weapon
really-
and vision like separately. She doesn't really use them
Yeah.
together.
So, honestly, if I was to rank it, I'd put it in C, personally.
I'd probably put
Yeah.
it in C too, honestly. Yeah, that's a pretty good idea. What do we think about Catalyst, guys? Cryo Catalyst. Where are we putting this one? I'll put
No,
it
this
up here.
one doesn't exist at all, right?
Yeah, no,
There's
this one does not exist at all. This is the first
No.
non-ever existing one.
Shoot, it doesn't.
Nope,
Dang.
it does not.
And I think it should, to be honest with you.
Honestly, yeah, I've been waiting for. I thought Layla was gonna be a Cryo Catalyst, and I was so hyped, but no, she's just like a Cryo Sword, and it's kind of lame. But Layla's still cool. No Layla slander here, okay? We don't
Layla slander
we don't support
here.
Layla slander.
I mean, I'd like to see it, but I feel like if there was to be a 5-star, they'd really have to. It could be such a 50-50 of it. Could be like the coolest thing ever, or it would be such a flop.
Yeah.
And I mean that like with take a grain of salt with that, but
Yeah. It
yeah.
could be really cool though, like making, I don't know, like shit out of ice, you know what I mean? Like it could be
Yeah.
Just put
cool.
Elsa in the game.
Elsa, honestly, yeah, that'd be kind of
Just
sick.
freaking build the castle or something. I think this could be A, maybe?
I would say A, like low A,
Yeah.
high B, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty fair. Okay, so for Dendro Claymore, I've heard rumors that Kave is gonna be a Dendro Claymore. So,
But he also might be a 4-star, which kind
Yeah.
of makes me sad.
okay, I'm putting this on the podium.
Podium. Honestly, I think we could just leave it where it is on the podium. Because, like, it very much. I don't know. Like, I don't hate it, but there's nothing special about it either. Like, I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's not like something that I would go out of my way to pull for. I would have to sort of see it in action to like actually decide whether I like it or not.
I feel like it's kind of the same with Anemo. Like, it could be really, really cool, but there's nothing really that it's kind of like with the whole Sayu thing. Like, it could be really cool, but also I feel like they'd only use it to attack and not use it for
Yeah,
skill or burst.
that's true.
You know?
So are we feeling B or C? Because honestly, like after you mention it like that, it kind of makes me want to go like maybe high C, low B, but like
I say we keep it like low B just to be nice.
low B just to be nice. All right, that's fair. That's
Just
fair.
because we don't know, you know? There
Yeah.
could be.
Hey, listen,
That's
I
true.
am fingers crossed. I hope they prove us wrong because I would love to see
I
like
do
another
too.
cool Claymore user because
Let
we
us
hardly
put
have
this
any now.
in ARS if we ever make another tier list in the future.
Yeah,
Please.
seriously. Dendro Polearm, I feel like could be really cool because I feel like Yao Yao doesn't really use her Polearm with Dendro. I've noticed that a lot
She
because
just
like
uses her little.
yeah.
She uses her bunnies.
Mhm.
Just
She uses
kinda,
her
like,
little-
throws-
Yeah, I feel like no, it definitely could be cool. She could be like graceful and stuff like that with like flowers
Ooh,
and whatever.
yeah.
like
I like
flowers and
that.
vines.
That would be really cool. Yeah, if they made an actual cool like 5-star.
Yeah, if they made something cool. I feel like this could be A tier, honestly, for me personally. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like for me it could
No,
be
yeah,
A
I
tier.
agree.
Get
I
a
agree.
point there.
Alright, so with Electro Bow, the only ones we have are Fischl and Sarah, I believe. I don't think we have any other ones. I feel like this could actually be really cool. So you know how like all the 5-star bows sort of have like special little additions to their charged attack? Like how Yoimiya
Yeah.
has her fireworks, Yelan has like, it could be faster and then like an exploding thing. I feel like an Electro Bow would be really cool since like lightning is super fast and stuff. Maybe it could have like one charge that makes it like a normal one, and then it could charge a second time where it makes the arrow like super fast with like no drop.
Oh,
I'd
that'd be
really
really
like to see
interesting.
that.
It's like a
Yeah.
bullet almost. I think that'd be really sick.
Freaking, I don't know, shooting like lightning bolts. Like I don't know, that sounds sick as fuck.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
I think there's potential there.
I think they made Sarah and Fischl really well, so I think if they were to go all out for a Electro Bow, they'd probably pop off quite well. Because
Honestly,
I do like them as well. I like their design and their playstyle, which is really cool.
I do too. I do too. This could be like the highest A tier for me, or maybe.
Yeah.
I feel like Cryo
I don't know
Catalyst
about-
could be better, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put it in
Yeah.
between.
I think that's cool.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
good idea. All right, Electro Claymore. Now this is just Razor and Beto.
Yeah,
Not
Bennett.
Bennett. I feel like this could be done really well, similar to how Beto is done. Obviously, I feel like Razor is cool too, but he just sort of uses his like wolf stand thing.
Yeah,
honestly.
put it in B.
Oh, and B? Yeah, I think B fits. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of the Claymores that don't exist are kind of underwhelming, and there's kind of a reason there's not a lot of Claymores. Like, Claymore is such a cool weapon, but it only really works for, like, a few elements.
Yeah, because it's like
It
it's not
does,
on its
yeah.
own, you know.
Yeah,
like just
it
a
only makes
claymore.
sense. Oh my, yeah, well, I mean, that's basically Eula, isn't it? Like, just a Claymore.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, Geo Bow for me, it's like C or D tier. I feel like
Yeah.
Geo as an element in general is just not great.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like rocks, right? Like,
It's
Yeah.
just rocks.
It's basically just
I mean,
rocks.
they just throw rocks. Like, think about all the Geo characters. They just throw rocks at people if you think about
Yeah, I mean, it's like the characters themselves, like Zhongli, Ito, Noelle, Ningguang, like all the characters themselves are super cool, and it's just like Geo as an element, like it literally does not work with anything. Like it doesn't swirl with Anemo, so Kazu is basically useless. Most of them scale off HP or defense, so Bennett's basically useless. Like, what do you do
Also,
with
yeah, as a
Geo?
bow, like, I
And
don't
as a
know, it's
bow, it's
kinda-
so lame too. Like, what would
that's
you
just
do?
really
Just
weird.
shoot? Like, Goro's
I-
pretty dumb.
Picture people slingshotting like pebbles.
Just slingshotting pebbles.
I honestly agree because there's no like what if there was a bow user that wasn't Geo. I feel like you'd only rely on their skill and burst because polearms and claymores it makes sense to an extent. But,
Yeah, I agree.
you know,
But like even with Zhongli,
You know?
like for example Zhongli, right? Like neither of his skills require his polearm whatsoever. He summons a fucking
Yeah,
meteor from the
that's
sky
true.
and like
That's
summons a
true.
pillar from the ground. Yeah, no, because like for example with Yelan and Child, right? Like they don't use their bow, but they provide something useful for the table with hydro application, right? Like
Right,
the
yeah,
element
yeah.
of Geo itself doesn't
Geo
really
application.
Yeah, it
Let's go
doesn't
ahead.
put
Geo
anything on the
application.
table. It literally doesn't. It doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
Unless you're
Shit,
like
that's
the only one is like Zhongli and Noelle where they have their Geo shield, and that's basically
Yeah,
it.
but that's just their shield. Like that's the only
Yeah, that's the only thing
thing
that.
that they provide.
And
Yeah.
so if there was a Geo bow user and they for some reason had a shield, no one would pull for them because Noelle and Zhongli
Yeah.
exist. So honestly, I'm kind of tempted to put this in D tier, like straight up. This might
Yeah.
this might be the worst one on the list.
Yeah, that's you have a point. You have a point.
All right, Geo Catalyst. Personally, again,
It's better than bow.
it's better than bow, but at the same time, like.
they'll never be able to defeat a Geo slime.
Yeah, like imagine not being able to kill a Geo slime. Like seriously.
No. Catalyst Geo. All right, we're just making rocks. Like this
We're
is
just-
Okay,
This is
honestly,
just what we've gotten to.
also this is Ningguang, right? This is
Mhm.
if
Yeah.
if they made a Geo Catalyst 5-star that had like Ningguang's like cutscene abilities, like where she could summon all these like giant, fucking things.
Right. Mhm, mhm,
Like that would be sick as shit.
That'd be really cool.
That would be so sick. which is why I'm kind of tempted to bump it up to like B, just because of that potential. But at the same time, in general, as a combination, it's not really.
Right. Like there's a potential for every combination, you know.
Yeah, except for Geobow. You never think it good at C? I think it's better than Anemo Claymore personally, so I'm just gonna switch these two. Like personally for me. All right, now my personal favorite on this entire list is Hydro Claymore. All right, I'm gonna put this just in S tier. Based on me, we can discuss it, but like for now we're gonna put it in S tier. You guys can try to convince me out of it, but my god, having a Hydro Claymore would be so sick. Like remember when we were talking about Anemo Claymore, where it's like Anemo is like a light element combined with like a heavy weapon. It doesn't really make too much sense. Like Hydro, like water is like so heavy on its own.
Oh, that'd be so sick. That would be like, I don't know, like swinging it around and like fucking slashing waves at people.
Yeah, it'd be so sick. It would be so really cool. Sick. I honestly think it's the best. Like it's the best. And on top of that, there's not even a 4-star with this. This is completely unused.
No, this does not exist.
It's
Why
completely unused. I don't know. I have no idea.
I feel like
explain yourself.
Hear me out. I feel like they might be saving it for like a really good character. So maybe they're like, oh, we're gonna keep it in the basement a little bit longer and then like come out with like the coolest thing.
That's my hope. Yeah. I really hope the Geo Archon is like a Hydro Claymore with like an Ito build kind of thing. Hydro Archon.
The Geo Archon.
I meant Hydro Archon. I really hope the Hydro Archon is like Hydro Claymore and just like a badass that summons like literal tsunamis and shit.
I mean, I'd like to see another Archon not be a bow or Polearm or Catalyst, because you know we have 2 Polearms already, Raiden and Zhongli, and then you know I'd like to see a Claymore Archon. That'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty sick. That's my opinion though. I think Hydro Claymore deserves the S tier. I think it deserves the best tier.
I think it does too.
Hydro Polearm. I believe Candace is a Hydro Polearm, or is she in Hydro Sword? I don't remember.
No, she's a Hydro Polearm.
Polearm? Okay, I'll put this on the.
She's really cool. She's dope.
Yeah. I feel like Nilou could have been a Hydro Polearm as well, because like think of it like this.
That would have looked really cool.
You know how like Yunjin, for example, is like super graceful and stuff with like her weapon and all that. I feel like Hydro fits that sort of theme so perfectly. Like Hydro being like a graceful element, as well as being like when we put Hydro Claymore up here, it's an incredibly aggressive element when it wants to be, but it's also like a very beautiful thing.
I also think that like Polearm kind of is too. Like next to Catalyst, I think Polearm is probably the next like graceful element, just because it like is very much not as, I don't know, it's more like loose in a sense. I don't know how to describe it compared to like a sword.
It's like lighter
it's very
and just
much
more free flowing.
Yeah, free flowing. That's a good way to describe it.
I mean, I'm kind of like the same way with like how we were talking about the Claymore. Like I'd love to see with a Hydro Polearm, but I'd like to see it in, I guess, produced in a 5-star way, you know? Like I feel like Candace fits the role of being a 4-star. I wish she was a 5-star because I feel like she'd be really cool.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
I'd also like to see a really cool 5-star Polearm.
Yeah. Also, I feel like for a Hydro Polearm, I need to preface this real quick. Candace is a really fucking cool character, and her skills and moveset is sick, and her design is amazing. I just feel like as a Polearm, I feel like, well, obviously she gets like way overshadowed by the fact that she uses a shield. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Like, so she doesn't really, like, when I think of Hydro Polearm, I don't really think of Candace because she doesn't really use a polearm, right? She's much more known for the fact that she uses a shield.
Yeah, there's definitely potential there for like.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I'd put that in A probably.
A tier?
Yeah.
I'm down with A. Do you think it's better than Dendro Polearm, or?
I think so.
Where would
honestly,
you put it?
I kind of want to say yeah.
You want to say yeah? All right. What about Electro
Yeah.
Bow? You think it's better than Electro Bow as like a 5-star?
I'm going with no.
Yeah, I think where it is good. I think
where it is good. All right. Final one on the list. Benny Boy's signature combination here. Hydro. Or I already fucked it up.
We got Pyro Sword, which I do think that Bennett does it pretty well. Like, I don't have really any complaints about how Bennett does it. Like, he uses Pyro and he uses a sword, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he does.
He kind of checks all the boxes. But I do think it'd be cool to see it as a 5-star though. Like, not that Pyro is boring, because it's the opposite of boring, but it's very much like basic in a sense. I don't know, like it's like the beta element.
Pyro.
Yeah, for sure. It's like the most vanilla element,
like,
probably.
Pyro sword is the most like vanilla combination that you can get.
Yeah, it's just a fire sword. Like, come on.
However, I think if it's done right, it could be really cool.
Like high B, probably.
High B,
Mhm,
I think is above Electro Claymore and.
I think it's above. Yeah, I think it's above Dendro Claymore.
Really?
I would
Alright.
put it there.
I would
On-
personally.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
now
But
that
yeah,
we've done
what you
that,
guys-
I think I want to kind of order this list a little bit, even though most of it's good.
Okay,
I can't.
okay.
Okay, real talk. I just want to put this above Dendro. I feel like Electro Claymore is better than Dendro
Okay.
Claymore.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's actually very fair.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, this is
Good
the tier. This is our tier list. This is
We did
the
it.
the tier list of things that don't exist. We ranked.
Yay!
We literally
That's good.
ranked fictional things.
And maybe we could be wrong, and all of these end up being really cool, and they all belong in S tier. But
That's
this
true.
Is
Or
just-
like, I don't know, maybe Hydro Claymore is absolute dog shit.
If Hydro Claymore is dog shit, I'm
It could be.
filing a personal report to MiHoYo. I'm gonna write like a
I'll
20-page
design
letter.
my own Hydro Claymore character.
I'll do it.
I think-
It's so easy. Just make it. Ito is Hydro. Honestly.
But also remember, this is just opinions. Take it with a grain of salt.
Everything here is fully based on our opinions. All right.
Yes. But they're right.
Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any ideas, leave them in the comments. If you enjoyed Special Guest Wisteria, make sure to comment that you did, I guess. I don't know. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye!
Bye.